And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day. From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright, fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us, breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride, talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes! 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 Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
All right, welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live, Sunday night. Again, sorry for the snafu on Friday. What a mess. It's all good, though. We're back here, and we're going to talk some Giants baseball and just baseball in general as well. So,
What happened?
Glenn, you're back.
Lou and I step out for one night, and all hell breaks loose. I see.
Oh, yeah. We had Kyle Tucker news, and then the next day you had freaking Bo Bichette news. And then we were ready to do a show on Friday, and I'm messing around with the computer like I should be. And yeah, whatever. Hey, it's all fixed. It was nothing big. It's just once I got everything done, I lost all my passwords. And then there was two-step verification, and then, what a mess.
Two-step verification? What a prick.
Stupid. It's stupid.
Every time I try to get into my bank account, I got to go check your other phone. I got to go find the other phone. It's in California. I'm like,
Yeah. So anyways, everything's good. We're back, and we'll talk some more baseball. I know it's a lot of football talk going on out there as far as with the playoffs and everything, but yeah, exactly. We're here to talk some Giants baseball. Again, as far as Giants are concerned, the only news, you know what the biggest news was over the weekend, guys? And let me get and I don't know, Glenn, maybe you got some inside info. I don't know if Bernice went to the Fan Fest in San Jose yesterday. But the big news was Bryce Eldridge has changed his number. He is now, instead of 78, he is now 8.
he's a snowman now. Ooh,
8. That's it. That's the only news. That's it. So, Glenn, do you know anyone that went to Fan Fest yesterday? Because I do not.
Nope.
Oh,
I think Lou talked everybody out of they say, why do you want to go to San Jose for Fan Fest anyway? And although I did get breaking news.
Oh, you did?
Breaking news, according to the word on the street, keeping my ear to the rails, so to speak, Eric. The Giants, who are always in search of a great marketing idea because they haven't had many. They haven't had many to work with. Apparently, they're going to have a night that, I don't know, Kraft or one of those companies, or whoever makes Jello, they're going to have orange Jello with Tony Vitello night.
What?
Everybody gets free Jello. Yep. Orange Jello with Tony Vitello. It'll be Jello night at Oracle Park. There you go. You heard it here first, Giant Sports Talk Live.
Well, there you
and
go.
Lou continues to shake his head.
Whoopity-doo. Whoopity-freaking-do. Lou, you're down there in the Bay. Did you hear anything? Look, I was looking on Twitter, and I get yesterday it was all, 49ers. I get it. I didn't see there was not any daily, I shouldn't say daily, but there's no updates on X, whether it was on the Giants X, KMBR, NBC Sports Bay Area. No one was updating anything until after the fact, but it did. I don't know. Was there a lot of fanfare as far as that's concerned there, Lou?
I saw one thing on Facebook, and it looked like Tony. Of course, they mentioned the number change. Susan said that. Again, a big story. But he was sitting there, and there were 3 people, and he was at a table. That's the only thing I saw. So I thought typical Giants luck. They're going up against the Niners, where 99% of the people, the Niners were on their mind. But yeah, I thought the timing was bad. And, to tell you the truth, here's my question. Why would I have traveled down to San Jose to meet a rookie that could be great? We don't know. And the manager has never done his job before. And right now, his first job is give me a first and third base coach. Give me something. And I thought it just wasn't worth my while. And I think maybe because they didn't get a real good crowd, because usually on the Giants Twitter account, they'll do something. They've sort of put it on the hush-hush. You know what I mean? Maybe it just wasn't that big a demand. Eric, I think the one thing you might want to bring up, because – unfortunately, we had the reboot problem on Friday, but, I really enjoyed your show with Marty Lurie. I got a chance to see it after because I didn't get to see it live because I was with Glenn at Tommy's, and we'll talk more about that. But I thought people that didn't maybe check it out, there were some great things that Marty brought up about the Giants, about their future, which, I was unaware of. And, you might just want to really refresh that where – they had what's his name?
Randy Wynn.
Yeah, Randy Wynn gave a lot of what Buster, the front office, what their plan is the rest of the year. So I don't know if you don't mind just maybe doing a 30.
Yeah, I can. Let me recap that a little bit.
Yeah,
and then we'll get into, because one thing I want to ask both you two, because you guys were enjoying the night on the town when the news broke. I haven't heard to hear what you guys have to say about this, and we'll get into it here shortly. Again, Kyle Tucker. But yeah, Marty Lurie, he was in San Jose. What was that on? Was that Friday night, right? Was that Friday? I can't remember what night it was, where they had a little shindig, so to speak.
Yeah, he got an award.
He got an award, exactly. And they recognized a lot of the players from that area, if I'm not mistaken, there in the South Bay. And Randy Wynn came up and he was like a special guest speaker for the San Francisco Giants, and he was explaining the way forward for the Giants. And guys, I mean, if you guys want to take a look at it, go check out Marty's channel, and you'll see it on there. And it looks like, and you guys ain't going to like this. They're going to roll with the young guys. They want to see what they got. And whether you agree or disagree, that's kind of what it sounds like. I mean, by the looks of the moves that the Giants have done, that's what it looks like, right? They want to see what they have. And I'm going to get more into it. I want to dive a little bit deeper into that, because I don't know why you need 2 years to do that, because last year was supposed to be that year to see what you had. So why are you doing a second year to see what you had? I mean, that does, to me, something just isn't adding up. And then look, I get it. I understand. You can't go buy or trade for an entire roster. You can't do that. You're going to have to roll with some of your guys. But come on, there was a way. There was a way forward where the Giants could have been better if they went out there and they got a starting pitcher, if they got a somewhat decent closer, and didn't try and go get a bat somewhere. But they didn't do that. They wind up kind of just going after, and I don't want to say retreads. I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect the guys, but that's kind of what Farhan did, right? He went out there, got guys coming off injury. It's the whole what if business. I'm tired of the what ifs. How about we just get some bona fide guys? I don't want to. Well, if this guy does this, and if this guy has this, and if this guy, I'm tired of the ifs. Let's just go out there and put together a pretty good roster. And unfortunately, they didn't do that. And now, we're going to be stuck with the guys like Birdsong and McDonald and Kai Tang and Carson Seymour, Landon Roop. I hope Landon Roop is going to be good to go. When you start talking about a barking elbow, you just never know. Look what happened with DeGrom. He had a barking elbow for years, and he finally wind up having to go under the knife. And I just hope this isn't something that's coming down the pipe as far as Landon Roop. And I don't wish for that at all. But again, it's something to be concerned about when you're talking about, you got a whole lot of depth, but in that depth, there's not a whole lot of innings built up in those arms. oh, what? We're going to have to see how this all works out. And, this kind of goes into, and it's funny, Lou, it was that same night. As a matter of fact, yeah, it was Thursday night. We had the show with Marty. And then literally right about an hour later, news breaks. Kyle Tucker to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And let's recap on this a little bit. I had the special show with that announcement. Glenn, what do you make of it? Kyle Tucker, one of the probably the most coveted guy as far as position players is concerned, going to be wearing Dodger blue.
Really no surprise to me, Eric. When you really got to it, I thought he was going to the Blue Jays or he thought he was going to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And at the end of the day, if I was placing my bet in Vegas, I probably would have hedged my bet and went Dodgers for the simple fact they got the money, they spend the money, and something you really touched on, Eric, they've got a direction. The Giants don't seem to have the direction. I think that's what you were alluding to. It's a team made up of, I don't know, it's like going into the kitchen. I said on the show last week, I'm not a very good cook. I can go into the kitchen and mix it all up. You might not want to eat it, though. They're throwing in a little bit of this and sprinkling in a little bit of this. And I was looking at the roster, the outfield of McRae is on the roster, and Encarnacion is listed as, of course, an outfielder. You got Lee, who struggled in the field. Should I even mention Ramos and his defensive ability? So defensively, Eric, I mean, it's a snot rocket out there in the outfield.
Yeah, to piggyback what you're saying, we're running back the same outfield. We're running back the same infield, right? Now,
well, for the most part, I've said and I will continue to say, Eric, that this team, for the most part, you're right, similar to last year's team, but I do believe we've lost a couple of players which actually make this team worse. I don't think we're a 500 ball club.
Right now, as we stand right now, I think I said it on the show the last time all three of us were together, 79 wins. You were at 73. I think, Lou, you were at 78, I think, right? Something like that. I mean, that's kind of what we're talking about. Look, and if everything is equal, talking about the roster as far as your starting nine, if that is all the same, but yet the starting rotation, I think, has taken a step back, where are we at? I mean, I don't think we're at. I mean, and granted, look, in the baseball season, it's got to play out. We're all just prognosticating here because we don't. All of a sudden, they could have magic in a bottle and go out and win 95 games, right? I
think they had magic in a bottle last year that got them to around 500. I really do. They got off to that magical start, and they rode that right out of spring training. They had, I believe, the best record in the spring training. Then they rode that for about the first 3.5 weeks.
They also circled the toilet. Circled the toilet.
Exactly. So, honestly, if we didn't have a great start to the year, well, we would have been talking 72, 73 wins.
Maybe. Lou, what'd you think of the Kyle Tucker going to the damn Dodgers, man?
Well, hopefully you can see this video that I sent Eric and Glenn, and we'll send you guys. I'm getting a little sick and tired of everybody saying the Dodgers are paying for championships or doing this. What it comes down to is the Dodgers have a front office that knows what they're doing. The Giants don't. You have a guy like Andrew Freeman, who is, if you guys remember, was unbelievable at Tampa Bay. He's now with the limited budget. With a limited budget of probably $50 million. Now he's got a budget of $500 million. And when you get somebody that knows what they're doing, not like what Giants are doing with Buster and a second-year guy as a GM, they are planning for 3 years down the road. Tucker fills in because if you guys remember, 2 years ago when they were in the World Series, they didn't even have a starter. Do you remember how bad it was?
It was bad.
They had 6 guys on the DL. What do? They come back the offseason. They get 3 studs. They have 3 other guys come off the DL. They now have the best pitching. Last year in the World Series, if you guys remember, Hernandez was supposed to be in right field, went to center field, played left field. He was out of position. They needed another outfielder because they're getting older. They got Tucker. The other thing about him is what I like them doing is they signed him for 4 years. Okay. It wasn't like an 8-10 year deal, right? They get him because they know 2 years from now, some of their guys, the 1, 2, 3 hitters are getting older, might not be there, and their contracts are done. So what the Dodgers do is they're always thinking 3, 4 years ahead. The Giants, we're always winging it. You know, when I heard Marty's show with Eric and they said, hey, we're going to go buy. Last year at this time, the Giants had 7 pitchers for 5 spots. One of the things Marty brought up great is on our 40-man roster, we have 24 guys that are pitchers. So that means if you take 5 of them off, we have 19 guys, and we're just hoping we can get maybe 2 or 3 that are going to stick. That's not a winning organization. That's horrible baseball. That's stuff like, like Colorado does or something, just hoping. We're the San Francisco Giants, so you have that problem. The other thing is everyone now says, oh, we need a cap. We need a cap. If the roles were reversed and the Giants had Freeman running the Giants, right, and had a budget of what the Giants really have, not what they think they have, we would never complain. It's just you have the best minds running the best team, and that's why they're successful. We have guys that really are not really, trust me, Buster admits, hey, I'm learning on the fly. Mania, yeah, you know what? I'm still learning because it's my first year. That's where they're just happy to actually break even, and that's what we're doing. And, there's really no comparison. Just look at the GMs in just the NL West. You go to the Dodgers, they have the best record. San Diego has a GM where he does whatever it takes to win. He doesn't care. Right? You have Arizona, young guys, older veterans. They're trying to trade veterans to try to get younger and get more. But, they still sign their pitchers. They're still going to be there. So, right now, going into spring training, I know it's early. The Giants are the 4th best team out of 5. But here's the thing. Since we're not as good as last year, we're closer to Colorado than we are the 3rd best team, Arizona.
I agree with Lou when he brought up some of those teams in our division. Look at San Diego. Why do they compete? Because, and I know this sounds bad, Eric, Lou, there's no loyalty. There's no, I got to, stroke your ego and pat you in the back. They do what it takes to win in San Diego. They move off of players. And don't kid yourself, the Dodgers do that too. If they could get Skubal, they'll get Skubal, and then they'll get rid of guys you think should be starting on that Dodger team. They'll move off. They do anything it takes to get better, where there just seems to be this loyalty and we love our players mentality in the San Francisco Giants. And the guys in the chat are all over the place. Eric, before you get to the super chat, you guys need an award for covering the Giants. Goddamn right we do. We have no chance to compete. What a crap show. Then I had to double. Eric, I went, who the hell's saying this? And of course, I didn't realize if the Giants produce, they could be contenders. The Giants have enough veteran leaders. Look who came out of the woodwork.
What's up, Robert?
It's the new year. And, new hopes. We're going to go unbeaten this year. Robert Rothberg coming out strong early in 26, Eric. But you know what? I just don't think we don't have the horses, Lou. Eric, you agree? We just don't have the horses. We don't have in our lineup.
Look, do we have a lineup that's decent, right? It's decent. But I'm telling you, I keep saying this over and over, and I will keep repeating this, that the Giants, when you keep talking about pitching and defense, have we done anything to address pitching and defense this offseason? Other than, look, okay, yeah, you have 2 major league starters in Hauser and Malley. But how long is Malley going to go, right? How long is Hauser? How's he going to do? But neither of them are strikeout guys. They're ground ball guys, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having ground ball guys. But neither of them have really gone to distance in quite a while. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. All right, there's a bunch of super chats, and there's, hey.
Before you get to them, I got to ask you one more question. While we're talking about the lineup, Eric, I'll throw it to you. Don't you feel like we have a lineup that's made up of hackers and slashers? Jung-Hoo Lee's slashing around. He might have a better average than most on this team. But even our home run hitters, the guys like Chapman and Adames, these aren't guys who put the bat on the ball solidly and get you. Why were the Toronto Blue Jays the Cinderella team?
Yeah,
because they put the bat on the ball and could hit the ball. And when you hit the ball, good things happen. You score runs.
that the Giants had that did that was Dom Smith. He was the guy last year that I loved watching his at-bats because he didn't try to kill the ball. He just put the ball in play. And more times than not, he was putting the ball. He didn't strike out very many times. And he put the ball in play. Unlike some other guy, I mean, Devers, honestly, Devers is probably right now your best hitter in the lineup right now because he is a guy that has a track record of having an average, having an on-base percentage, but he also has the power. Look, he's up there, man. He is a good player, borderline superstar. Whether you like it or not, that's what he is. But the thing is how are the Giants going to protect him in that lineup? And that's the thing. And look, and I'm going to get to this. Southern Justin, I see your comment about Eldridge, and I want to talk about Eldridge coming up a little bit. I don't want to do it yet, but hang in there with me, Southern Justin, and I'll get to your comment here in a little bit.
We are a team of good players, Eric, but we don't have any great players. We have Eric. We really have no superstar. We have no superstar talent in this team.
Devers is the closest. Devers is the closest.
And I still don't even call him superstar. I got to see him do it in a Giants uniform.
As far as
I got to see him do it at Oracle Park over a whole year.
And look, and here's another thing. I know you and Lou aren't high on Logan Webb, but you know where he's forecasted in the top 100 starting pitchers for Fangraphs? Guess who's number 5? Yeah, Logan Webb is
come on. So you know who's on the voting committee? That's Susan Slusser's name written all over it.
This is all analytics, man. This is all analytics. So I'm just saying, as far as pitching, we got Logan Webb. As far as hitting, we got Devers. But the thing is, we need more than that, right? That's the whole thing. We need more than that.
Lou, you can't put him at number 5 for analytics because this team plays analytics and it's a crap show. We're a below 500 team playing analytics.
All right,
so to say analytics.
Let me get into these super chats because otherwise I'm never going to get to them.
Logan Webb.
Here we go. JB, our good friend from Australia, donates 5 Australian. Jared Olivia signed a minor league deal. That's your news. No offense to the guy, but I ordered chocolate ice cream, not a hot dog. I can't blame you, JB. All right, coming in with a nice one there. I appreciate it. Fuji, what's up? Donates $2. Congrats, Lou, on SI keeping Bruce Mahoney trophy. Oh, there you go. There you go. Talking some high school stuff here, right?
Tradition there.
Fuji also donates $2. Any chance Birdsong has a bounce back year, man? That's a great question. I don't know, man. I was so high on him last year. I was like, man, this guy could be something. And then all of a sudden, remember when he was coming out, Lou, you remember this? He was coming out of a bullpen. Boom, boom, boom. He was freaking going to town. And then what was it? There was an injury and he wound up coming into the rotation. And then he had a couple of good starts. And then all of a sudden, the bottom just fell out, gone. He had nothing. Walking guys all over the place, loud contact. And I'm like, what is going on? He goes down to Sacramento and he did the same thing. He did the same exact thing. He was walking people all over the place, giving up runs. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I don't know what it is. And whether or not he has a bounce back year, Fuji, your guess is as good as mine. Before we go on to the next super chat, Blue, do you see anything and as far as Birdsong is concerned?
Well, here's the thing is I thought Birdsong was good in short relief. And I think it comes down to when you know your role, what you're good at. And when you try to change your player and put him in another spot that he's not good at, that's what happened. You know, the thing about Birdsong is I think he's a great player, but it's a lot different when you're pitching 3rd, 4th, 5th inning when either you're down 6 runs or 6 runs with you starting where you know with your lineup not hitting, you got to pitch a shutout. And I think, you know, one of the things about the Giants, I'll just say 2 quick things. One is with our team this year, we replaced Yaz, who at times could hit, and good defense with Gilbert. That doesn't improve our team. We still don't have a leadoff hitter, which I think, if you remember, one of the things we kept saying, bat lead first. No, then he was 5th, then he was 7th. Oh, and then we batted Yaz first. And so we really don't have a leadoff hitter. I don't want Gilbert leading off. And then that leads to me with the bottom of the lineup. If you remember how many times last year, 7, 8, 9 were like 1 for 10, 1 for 9. And then we have no one that can hit in the clutch. And that's a disaster. Getting back to the pitching is what we said earlier, we have so many pitchers, but I think pitching especially the bullpen, everyone needs to know their roles. We bring up Rogers many times. When you got to the 8th inning, you pitched Rogers. It was done, sealed. He was so unique, so different. He was a specialist. We then had 2 guys that did the 9th inning.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them are really around. We have one that is now been traded. The other one is having surgery. We then go to the 7th. We had a few guys that were the flavor of the week, and I think that's really a problem. With the question with Birdsong is we don't know because he got another off season. It's like, you can say, oh, second base, Casey Schmidt. The guy had surgery. I don't care if he's going to be back. You just don't know how he's going to be coming off an injury. It seemed like last year he was injured probably 4 or 5 times, but then, he was in a splint. It's the same thing. I thought I heard a little rumor that Eldridge had surgery this offseason. Okay. So we're going from a guy that was the next Willie Mays, Jack Clark, Will Clark. He had a bump in the road. He played for 5 weeks, didn't really turn any heads, but hey, he got his feet wet. But now he had surgery. Okay. Mm-hmm. That scares me. Okay. Because it really came at hush hush. It hasn't been like, what type of surgery? What was it? The other thing, I'll go back to Eric. I think you brought it up either the other night or it might have been on one of your other shows because you're so popular helping everybody get good, that his defense is worse than last year. Now, is that because is that okay? Is that coming because of his surgery? Is that because they're actually trying him at first base? Well, to me, if your defense isn't working and you're having problems defensively and you have surgery, how in the hell do I expect you to come up to the majors next year and give me 250, 260? Everything's a little side back. I know he's young and I know young kids recover good, but to me, those are always like 1 step ahead, 2 steps back. And, it worries me. Same thing with Birdsong. He's a young guy. When he came in 2 years ago, he had the mind. Oh, my God, he had the good stuff. But again, off seasons, what teams do is they look at Birdsong. What are his tendencies? Why was he so good there? Why did he do so many strikeouts? It's tough. That's why baseball is the toughest sport, because teams and the farm systems and everything else, they adapt to you. That's why they have those things when they pull up the cards. They know the tendency of the hitters, right? That's where, you're going to play the guy left and right. Same thing when pitchers going. It's not only that pitchers have the thing, hey, these guys, are good against me or they have my number. Same thing with opposing teams. They have a plan when they go out to face Webb. It doesn't matter. When, maybe Birdsong had a slider that they couldn't hit. Hey, he throws sliders always on the second and third pitch. Let's just look for the first pitch of fastball. And as Eric said, he had a problem where he sort of started walking guys because the other opponents adapt to him. So, with Birdsong, it's a big question mark. I know he's young, but we, again, have to realize he might only be a guy 3 or 4 innings. Well, I don't want a guy like that to be my 4th or 5th starter, because that's not what he's good at. You got to put people in the right spots. And that's what a good manager does. And, a president of operations. Yeah.
You're talking pitching. Eric, you love talking pitching and defense, but I'll go back to the hitting. If we have a team that continues, Eric, and I can't see it changing, especially if they have the new number 8, Eldridge, in the lineup on a full-time basis this year, how can you tell me their bat-to-ball skills just suddenly going to get better and we're not going to be one of the worst strikeout teams in baseball?
Is that why? I know what they're going to do.
Only going to go hocus pocus. I found the magic wand and I'm going to fix it in the off season.
That's exactly what they're doing. Glenn, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly, I think, what the Giants are banking on. They're banking on Tony Vitello to come here and work some magic with his coaches. That's what I think they're doing. What else? I mean, look, right? What if they're not out there getting the talent? And to this point, even if they get one bat, does that make the difference of where the rotation may not be exactly where it needs to be as it was last year? That's what I'm saying. We're in a weird predicament here as far as San Francisco Giants, and I want to get more into that here shortly because there's also other news out there. But real quick, Fuji says, "Are you able?" Thank you for the $2 again, by the way. Are you able to apply for Giants media credentials? I'm not even too wild. I kind of like being independent, right? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to get a credential. You may have to play the game, and why play a game? You know what I'm saying? Would it be nice? Don't get me wrong. It'd be nice. But why go jump through hoops and barrels when we just could come on here almost whenever the hell we want and talk about whatever we want and not be subject to outside influences, if you know what I mean. Senior, he's asking, can you talk about the TV or about the Dodgers TV deal? The only thing I know about the Dodgers deal, right? They signed it back in 2013. It's an $8 billion TV deal, but it's lasting 25 years. So yes, is it still a pretty damn big chunk of change? Absolutely it is. It's a huge chunk of change. And hey, all the credit to them. They're not breaking any rules, right? Right? Is everything that the Dodgers doing, they're all within the rules. Lou, you sent me a fantastic clip. You sent it to me and Glenn. Mad Dog Russo, right? He's out there and saying, look, is it bad for baseball what the Dodgers are doing? He said yes. But are they playing within the rules? Yes. And that's what he said. If you want to change it, well, you're going to have to change the rules. And that's not going to be easy. I'm telling you, that is not going to be an easy thing to do. We'll see how it all pans out at the end of this upcoming season. But yeah.
How much did you say that TV deal with the Dodgers? How much?
$8 billion for 25 years.
And the Giants is worth $50 million per season.
Yeah. So yeah. See, and I think they average out to $300 million. I think it's like around $330 million.
But again, Eric, if that's, you know what? It's similar to a stock market. It's logical. If you got the product, it's got a value. It's got a value.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Hey, Eric and Glenn, the one thing we haven't really spoken about, we were talking about pitching, and I think the chat hasn't brought this up yet because maybe they don't know. But how Webb and Mr. Ray going to deal with the new strike zone, and if the batter doesn't like it, they can tell. Again, that's the other thing that we got to realize. We're not used to it. We don't know how pitchers are going to be affected. But Ray always seems to have problems, with his and everything, and he's not pinpoint, because he really throws fastballs. But say he goes a couple things where he can't find the strike zone. Then he gets one, and then all of a sudden the guy appeals. It's a ball. It's going to be a new game this year. Where a lot of people are really going to have to adapt.
Good point. That's a great point, Luke, because this is going to be a unique season as far as strikes are concerned. Now, does it make these umpires a little bit more a discerning eye? I hope so, because then you can avoid some of this stuff. If you call a game like you're supposed to, well, then you ain't going to worry about this. But to your point, yeah, look, some of the value that Patrick Bailey brings as a catcher, as a defensive catcher, look, it may be knocked down a little bit. We'll have to find out. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, Luke, because look, his bat has to play. It has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cannot be like it was last year where he didn't do anything until literally the last month of the season. And then all of a sudden, then he
and then
started
Eric,
hitting the ball a little bit.
One thing too is we got to bring up, beside them having money, the Dodgers have won the World Series twice, probably just on merch alone, back to back, all this.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
They probably have made $300 million just on merch.
Hey,
let alone sponsorship, let alone everything.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Who gives a shit about the TV deal? Guggenheim. You know how much money Guggenheim has? I mean, they could have a shitty TV deal and they would still spin the way they are because Guggenheim has money out the freaking wazoo. They're okay with spending that. Listen to this, guys. Do you know how much money the damn Dodgers have tied up in their payroll of all their contracts? $2 billion worth of payroll when you take it all in totality, not just yearly, all in totality. It doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter what the TV deal is. You got a freaking a company that literally prints money, and they're not going to be deterred whether they have the TV deal or not.
They've got the deal and they've got the product, but I was just looking at the list. regionally, I mean, 50 million, at least we can turn on our regional channel and see the games. How about this? Cardinals, Braves, Reds, Tigers, Royals, Angels, Marlins, Brewers, and the Rays all lost their TV deals.
Yeah.
What is going on with Major League?
Oh, well, hey, it's going to change because matter of fact, Rob Manfred talked about it. They're talking around 2030. I think that was the date they gave. Look, this is going to probably move, but they're talking about the MLB taking over the rights for TV as far as clubs are concerned. So there's going to be some.
And what does that mean? People in the country don't have good internet service. You're not going to be on internet.
I don't know.
Hey, tonight on the Mystery Channel, can the Giants beat the Brew Crew? That's what it is, Eric. Yeah. We're watching True TV and the Mystery Channels. And I mean, the Hallmark Channel is going to have the game of the week next. It's crazy, or what? I tell you,
it's nuts, dude.
Maybe I grew up in a good era, 70s, 80s. That was baseball, Eric. Everything was good. It was on TV. Everything was great. Now it's just it's like a horror story. And now with the lockout pending next year, a strike, everything.
I can't tell you what. Hey, Southern Justin, are you still out there? Hang with me, man. I'm going to get to you because we got to talk about this as well. Bo Bichette. I thought Bo Bichette was going to be going to the Phillies. The way it was sounding, hey, he's going to be a damn Philly. We were talking, maybe he's going to go back to Toronto, right? Glenn, you thought maybe he was going to go back to Toronto. His best bud is there. Well, hey, money talks. Speaking of which, guys, you can even get into that real quick. Kyle Tucker, $60 million annual average. How about that shit? Anyways, so he's getting, what is it? Is he getting like 42? I think Bo is getting like around 42 annual average. I think that's where it is. I can't remember. I could be wrong. Forgive me if I got the numbers wrong. But he's going to go to the Mets. Now, here's the thing. Did the Mets need another infielder? Where are they going to play Bo Bichette? Do they play him at third base? You just traded for Simeon. You got Lindor, so you got your infield. So where's Bichette going to play?
I ever heard that he said he'd agree to play first or second. I thought he said he'd sacrifice, at least for 1 year. So
not Simeon. They traded for Simeon, who's your second baseman.
Yeah.
I got to ask you, Eric.
Let's say Armand, where's Bo Bichette going to play?
But Eric, riddle me this. After everything I just said about the TV deals and play, do you think, and where's Marcus? Where the hell is Marcus, Eric, when I need him? These players get all the money. They're worth billions. Are these guys worth 42 and 45 and 50 million for 6 months of playing baseball, Eric?
Dude, it's crazy. These short-term high AAVs are insane.
The world's going to hell in a handbasket.
Dude, don't.
Guy cures cancer. He's going to get $500. I'm telling you, Eric.
Dude, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. He's going to play third base.
You know what Marcus's feelings have been the last 2 years fighting me on that issue. Oh my God, they should get more. They should get more in their, the revenue share. Oh, the owners should give it all. It's the players who make the money. Like, they make more than enough money already.
So now let me go back to this. And this is what I keep saying. It doesn't matter what contract is signed today, because today the deal is going to be chump change as compared to 2 to 3 years down the road. Look at Willie Adames. That's a bargain. That's a bargain. $180 million for 7 years. That's a freaking bargain.
Do you think in 8 years we'll be saying that the Ohtani deal was a bargain?
Yeah, they will. They will.
Oh.
Matt Chapman extended for freaking 6 years for 151, something like that. That's a freaking bargain. Uh-oh. They even agree. San Francisco's finest even
somebody
agreed.
Called the cops. Yeah, it's robbery, Eric.
Highway robbery. I mean, this is just absolutely freaking insane. Some of these contracts. And look, and you know what? And Lou, you talked about this earlier, talking about the Tucker deal. Why did he go to the Dodgers on a short-term deal when he could have probably gotten maybe a 7, maybe even a 10-year deal somewhere else? You know why? Because he's going to win a ring or 2 or 3 by going to Los Angeles. And on top of that, it may not be long-term, but the guy is getting some freaking cash, man. He's getting
on
some
a
cash.
shorter deal. Let's look at it, Eric. Brilliance. Again, it goes back to having a good guy in your corner working out these deals with the teams, right? But you get him. It goes there. Everything you just said, Eric. Champion. I can't see them not winning another World Series in the lineup.
Come on.
He's going to make the money. If he puts up good numbers, a shorter deal, Eric, he's going to go out and make more money.
Yeah.
He'll make more because it goes up and up and up. I don't think they're worth what they're getting paid.
And here's another thing. You've taken off because when he is in Chicago and to a certain extent, a little bit with Houston, he was kind of the guy. In LA, you don't have to be the guy because
nobody does. They're an all-star team.
We talked about this, dude. Before the Tucker, we said that this is an all-star team. And now you got freaking Tucker in this line. My God, Shohei, Mookie Betts, Freeman.
They're doing it.
Tucker,
they're going to do away with the
Will
All-Star
Smith.
game. It's going to be the best of the baseball against the Dodgers in the All-Star game.
It's nuts.
It'll be more.
And did you guys see what the Dodgers where they were going to bat him?
Where are they having him? Cleanup?
Second. So do you know what that means when he's hot? Who are they going to have to pitch to?
Yeah,
They're going to have to pitch to Ohtani.
Oh my God!
They're going to move Betts to third. So again, all part of the process.
An all-star team, Lou.
Yeah.
This is just absolutely incredible. And look,
I don't want to piss on the Dodgers fans' cornflakes,
Okay,
Eric, but this is getting out of hand.
It is, but let's go back to Bo Bichette. So now you got, hey, the Mets have got a lineup. They ain't got pitching worth of shit. Armand, you're traveling down familiar roads. Look, Mets have got a hell of a lineup because now you got Bo Bichette in there. You got Soto. You got Lindor. You got I don't know what Vientos is going to do. Alonso's gone, but I kind of like Bichette better than Alonso. I'm sorry. Yes,
we needed a second baseman, Eric.
Well, not enough. Obviously not enough because.
Oh,
and look, here we go. We're going perfect because now it's a perfect segue. Yep. Because now how do the San Francisco Giants respond? Right. Let's get to the crux of the things. We got the Dodgers. Look, the Dodgers are in our own division. You could say the hell with the division for. And here's another thing. I hate to break it to you, and I don't mean to go down another path here, but if you think the Dodgers, it's just going to be a couple of year things and then they're going to fade away, that shit ain't happening. The way the Dodgers are operating is going to be here for quite some time. And I'm telling you, if you think that you can wait this out, if other teams within the division think they can wait this out, you're going to be sorely mistaken because you're going to either have to compete or you just say, whatever. Whatever. And if you want to throw your hands up, hey, that's your prerogative. That's your team. You can do whatever you want. I don't like it, but I mean, what are you going to do?
Robbie Dizzle sent me a text message while I was in travels. I actually sent Eric a picture of the big board in the Calgary airport. That was delayed, freaking delayed. I said, here we go. I got to sit for like 9 hours in the airport. Didn't get home till like 2:30 in the morning. Robbie Dizzle keeping me up to date. He goes, Eric's talking some good. Well, of course, Eric steals the show when we're not here, Lou. But you were on, and apparently you said on Thursday night that, and maybe you'll, refresh me on the whole situation. But aren't the Giants saying, "Yeah, what you got is what you got, and we could get even younger"?
Yeah, and look. I'm telling you right now, as far as the San Francisco Giants, what you see is what you got. I don't honestly. We're talking about trade, right? We were talking about trades. Maybe that's a path that the Giants go. I got a feeling that the price, and here's the thing. I don't think the Giants, they don't want to trade away prospects and they don't want to spend money. So where does that leave you? Where does that leave you? It leaves you in exactly where they're at right now. I don't.
Yeah, but you know what, Lou?
Let me finish this real quick.
Okay.
If you don't want to go out there and trade the prospect capital it will take to get, say, a Donovan, right? If you're not going to spend the money to get a pitcher or spend the prospect capital to get a Freddie Peralta, by the way, who's now rumored to possibly be going to the Dodgers, right? What the hell is that? Why do they need a freaking another starting pitcher? But whatever. So here we go. So what are the Giants going to do? I mean, and look, You're going to have to bank. You're going to have to bank on the farm. And right now, the farm just isn't up to snuff. Is it better? Yes, it's better. Look, we got some pretty good. We got some pretty good position players, right? As far as pitching is concerned, there's one guy out there. What is it, Bresnahan? I think he was tearing it up down in San Jose. But again, that's A-ball. And yes, you still got to dominate in the league that you're in. But he should be able to get promoted, go up to high A. But after that, who else? Wisenhunt doesn't have a second pitch. Roop has a cranky elbow, right? Who's the other guy that we got out there? Birdsong is an unknown. Dude, this is tough. And this is the one thing that I wanted the Giants to do. At least go get a bona fide freaking starting pitcher. If you had a 3-headed monster, so to speak, you're going to be able to make some hay. But, they decided not to go that route for whatever reason. They don't want to spend.
Every time I'm in here with you guys on a nightly basis, we talk about whether it's the Giants roster, what we predict, comparing them against the Dodgers. Can we win finish third in our division? I keep hearing the birds, Eric. Do you hear the birds? You know what the birds say? Cheep, 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 cheep. I hear the baby birds. Cheep.
And look, and I've said this before, and don't get it twisted. The Giants spent last year, okay? The Giants spent. I'm not saying you got to go out there and open up the coffers every single year. I'm just saying this year, with the amount of money they had available, they had close to $60 million available. With all the hey, listen to this, Lou, and I'm going to get your opinion on this. Out of the $60 million, they've only spent about $30 million. They got like $30 million left over until they hit the CBT. And I asked you guys this weeks ago. Do you think the Giants are going to spend to the CBT, over the CBT, or under? And I was on here and I was saying, I don't think they're going to get to the CBT. I would love for them to get to the CBT. I don't think they're getting up to the CBT. And I think we're starting to see that play out. And unless some kind of miraculous decision is made between now and the start of spring training, the Giants are going to have a shit ton of money left over again with the CBT. And I don't understand this, Lou. I'm trying to figure this out, man. What is going on, man?
I guess $30 million because they need to pay for the performances at the current theater. And, plays these days cost money. It's not free production all around. Probably have to redo the arena theater because it hasn't been redone in 25 years.
Sales are down.
Yeah. So, no, Eric, I think you bring up a great point. But the thing is, it's not that they haven't spent it. It's the money they spent, who they spent it on. I would have rather they maybe spent $30 million on one person. I look at the Bo Bichette contract. If you had a chance now to trade in Adames for Bo Bichette and pay $10 more million a year, wouldn't you have done that? Wouldn't you do that with the youth? So I think a lot of times too is the Giants maybe don't want to tell you, but they might have jumped for Adames, not thinking again of the future. He's there. If you remember, we got him first. There was nobody else. But it's just one of those things where sometimes they put their, and I'll use Glenn's thing. They were hungry. They saw the food out. They ate their whole meal. Now they got to stick with it, And the problem is, they've spent money, but look at their 5 contracts, and I'll include Jung-Hoo Lee. Because of those 5, if they would have only have done 3, they'd have money to actually help the team more. But now with these big fat 5 contracts, they're stuck. They can't move. And then what do? They're not going to admit they're rebuilding, but because veterans, older, 5-6 years, they got to really take the youth. Because if they don't take the youth now, we're going to be in the same predicament next year and the same predicament next year. And we've been doing this now for 3 years. They won't admit it. And I think that's the Giants' biggest problems too. The fans and the crowds. I mean, they got $2.9 million. They made money, but they're just not spending it the correct way. And, it's one of those things where, hey, especially next year where we're not sure if we're playing this year, and I'll use the same phrase again, the first 40 games can be very tough. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't go well, you have excuses. Oh, we played the youth. They're getting better. Just give them time. Oh, well, we have Tony V. He's new. He's adapting. Oh, it's Buster's
No.
second year doing it.
Look,
I'm just saying they have a lot of
A
excuses
preemptive
built in,
strike.
and fans don't want that.
bro, I'm telling you something right now, Lou. I am sick and tired of excuses. Excuses after excuses. Whether it's, oh, it's this guy. Oh, it's that guy. Oh, we can't do it because of this. Oh, we can't do it because of... Stop. Look, okay, let's talk about this. You want to talk brass tacks? How many professional baseball teams are in the San Francisco Bay Area? One, right? One. How big is the media market in the San Francisco Bay Area? You know where they're ranked in the nation? Ninth. They're ninth in the for media market.
Not for coverage.
Okay, they're ninth in the media market. You're the only baseball team. And then where are you on as far as the richest we'll say the most richest in LA baseball? You're fifth. So you're fifth in all the major league baseballs or baseball clubs out of 30. You're fifth. You have the ninth largest media market, and you're the only game in town. What's going on here? Why can't you take advantage of that?
Maybe they take that. Maybe they take it. Maybe they are taking it for granted, Eric. We're the only game in town. They'll come out. They'll buy our product.
I don't like to have to get this way, but my God, dude, it just pisses me off, man. Because you see it. It's out there. It's not like this is secrets. My God.
It pisses me off, Eric, to build on that. It pisses me off that the fans buy into this. And look at this. Now look at this and tell me this doesn't piss Glenny off, Eric. I'm in the chat looking at this. Why spend? Why spend while the Dodgers 3 or 4 Pete? Posey's smart. Eric, why the hell would you turn on and watch baseball with an attitude like that? Oh well, let's just show up Eric, shut her down. Giant Sports Talk Live will return in 2029. Maybe we'll be competitive. You can't play. Don't play like that, Eric.
No, you know what?
That comment pisses me off. You still got to go, Eric. If you're working at the underdog radio station, you still got to go and play the records. You got to still try to do your best.
Yes, absolutely. But here's the problem.
God.
No, Glenn, I'm going to tell you something. I don't agree with it, right? But I can't blame them because people are distraught because they see what the Giants have done over the last, let's say, the last 7 years. It's been pretty damn meager, with the exception of the 2021. It's been pretty shitty, right? And then on top of that, you see the Giants going down, the Dodgers are going up, and boy, they're not just going up, they're going through the freaking roof. And we're just staying there. We're treading water, man. That's all we're doing. We're not trying to get anywhere. We're treading water. And it's pissing me off, man. Pissing me off. And here it is. Here's the list. New York, number 1. LA, number 2. Chicago, number 3. Dallas, Fort Worth, number 4. Philadelphia, 5. Houston, 6. Atlanta, 7. DC, 8. And here we go. San Francisco, Oakland, and San Jose. Number 9. They were previously number 10. They've even gone up. And yet we can't take advantage of that. Why? What can someone answer me that question? What is the reason? If you're the only game in town, if you're the 5th richest team in baseball, and if you're number 9 in the media market, my God, dude. What's the malfunction?
But the Giants aren't. I see you're equating it to, well, we're in the media market, so that's great. Eric, again, the media is not covering the team because it's not worth covering.
Well, it's not that. It's
you
just
cannot get Giants coverage on the radio. We got 2 sports radio stations, and I don't even hear Giants coverage ever. This is the thing. We're talking about where you are as far as the population and all. Where can you? This is what you're tapping into. And if you're the only game in town for Major League Baseball, you should be taking advantage of that. And if you have the resources. Wait a second. Lou, do you agree with me? Eric's made his point, Lou. Eric's made his point. But when you're in number 5 market, media market, what comes with that? Population. What comes with the population? A lot more things to do with your entertainment dollar too, Eric.
Well, there you go. No, that's fine. But you're the 5th richest team. Look, we're not the Cincinnati fucking Reds, man. We're not. We're the freaking San Francisco Giants.
I wish we were.
Right? We're the San Francisco Giants. They have a lot more resources. Talking about economics. If we're talking economics, Come on, we're talking about the Giants. They got a shit ton of money. You're the only game in town.
God.
Why aren't they taking advantage? Oakland left. They're in Sacramento. Next year or the year after, they're going to be in Las Vegas. You're the only Major League Baseball team in town. And this is what we're going to do? Is this how we're going to do? Look, I hope there's a corner that's going to be turned. Go for it, Lou.
Yeah, Eric, the team that I think of the most is the St. Louis Cardinals. When they're doing good, they actually draw from 3 states.
Yeah, they do.
That's why they draw over 3.5 million people. Now, their team got older. They realized they got to shed. They admit to the fans, hey, guys, we're rebuilding. It works. Give us a couple years, but come out and have fun. The Giants never admit that. They're living off something that happened 10 years ago. The other thing Eric brings up, Glenn was bringing up about what Eric said about that. You got to put a product on the field that people want to come. Because everyone's going to come to the ballpark once or twice. But if you have a good product, it goes from 2 to maybe 5, and you might bring somebody with you. The Giants, if you have a product that's sort of boring, no superstars, it's sort of like how, and I'll use another sport right now. The Warriors still are a great team, but when Steph does not play, those tickets drop 75% because they're there to see one guy. Yeah. Somebody, an incredible player. The problem is the Giants, on a scale 1 to 10, average player being 5, we probably have Devers about a 6.5. Webb probably about 6.5. When you look at these other teams that are good and you draw, they have guys that are like 9s, 9.5s, where you can go and, I'll use Glenn's phrase from last year. Patrick Bailey hits an incredible inside the park homer. It's all over the news. Yep. He goes to the next game, and he's on the bench.
Afternoon game. Yep.
And the next day. So it's one of those things.
And Lou, keep going, but you're well aware of that situation. And what did I tell you? There were people in the row behind me. They were there with Dean. Dean and I were at that game. There were people behind us. They bought tickets. They came to the game. Why? I want to see this guy, Patrick Bailey. So, again, another screw up by your beloved San Francisco Giants, not knowing how to take advantage of the market and the situation at hand. I don't.
It's the same thing, and we'll just talk about the Fan Fest. The Fan Fest used to be an experience. Used to have an Oracle Park. There'd be 10,000 to 12,000 fans. You got to see the dugouts. You got to see the locker rooms. It was the first time you could buy tickets for the season. People got fired up. You made an event, and it led right into spring training, which led into opening day. Now they do it. Tickets go on sale in October. They have tickets on sale for December. They had the Fan Fest now. Now they're selling tickets for June, July, and August. What they've done is they've gotten sort of greedy, and it's really hurt the Giants overall. Because, like I said, the Fan Fest, they're having it at the ballpark. You get to see Oracle. They have the new food. It really built up to something good, which was sort of the start of the baseball season. You can't have a Fan Fest like yesterday, where you're still in January, where the team isn't in the news. It was sort of like a lost cause. They probably said, like I said, they were doing the Fan Fest at Oracle, 12,000. They were lucky to maybe have 300. Sort of a waste of time for bringing all the products. Tony V's first thing you get to see the fans. He sees a couple hundred. That's it. I thought San Francisco was a Giants town. Why are we doing it in San Jose? Why are we doing it at the same time where the Niners have the playoffs? It's like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? And it sort of gives a bad thing. And, the last couple of weekends, the Giants really haven't been in the news. When you have these opportunities, you got to make them last, because this is one strike. Now, the next Fan Fest is in 3 weeks. Is it going to be the same thing? Oh, it's the same weekend as Super Bowl. Okay, well, there's another check. Got to do it where you can do it and make it worth your while. That's all I'm saying.
And you know what else, Eric? Danny Boy says, the fans are going, so, the team isn't really even raking. They're not raking in the oodles and oodles of dollars here, Eric. Bernice and I just bought 25 games at home next year. you know what I spend on my tickets? Keep that in mind, Eric. Lou probably knows because he's seen the spreadsheet over the holidays. 25 games, Eric. It's a lot of baseball. Cost me $125.
Well, there you go.
A night at the movie theater cost me about $80. So $5 a game. I'm going to 25 games for $250 for our family, Bernice and I. We're going to Eric. You tell me the Giants are making money doing that, and then they don't spend it. They don't. That's why they're charging $5, Eric, because of the product. If you have a product, you charge more.
No, you're right. You're right. That's a fact. John C.
No $5 tickets in LA, Eric.
John C. I haven't seen you in a chat before. Maybe I have. I think I've seen that big boy before. Again, welcome back to the chat. It says the real dog in a Major League Baseball has to be Chicago, third market, is the third market, and put shit teams out there. Well, you know what? They're kind of changed. They're turning the corner now. We got to remember Chicago has 2 baseball teams. They got the White Sox, who suck, and then you got the Cubs. But look what the Cubs are doing. They're out there spending some damn money. They spent, if you want to say capital on prospects, they got rid of their top prospect to get Edward Cabrera. They spent money on Alex Bregman. You got some young guys. I mean, you spent money on Imanaga. You spent money on, say, a Suzuki. So the Cubs are kind of turning the corner. They got a pretty damn good team. So, I mean, granted, in the past they haven't spent all that much, but lately they're starting to turn the corner. Talking about the Chicago Cubs, so a little bit different than what the Giants are facing. For the simple fact, you're the only game in town, man.
What a night! What a show, Eric! What a show! I take a few days off. I'm going to be rested up. Come back to this crap. You know what I need? I need a margarita.
Let's go. You want a margarita? I'll give you a margarita.
Only a cold one, Eric.
There we go. Margarita right there.
Late. Now that I know that sign, I know the angle. They took that. We were sitting way down in the back end of that picture, Lou and I along the wall. Then we went over to the bar. Lou and I and Bernice hit the bar, and they could not have been any more gracious. Eric, dude, they rolled out a red carpet for Bernice and I.
Nice. Hey, look at that. Look at that. That's pretty damn cool.
We were on the big, but we were on the we were part of the playbill for the evening. We were on the marquee. Man. We were on the marquee. And of course, then I got to spend about 2, 3, maybe 4 too many hours with my old pal right there.
Oh, my bad. There you go. Hey, look at those guys. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good thing we took the picture when we did. That was after, I think, one margarita. And I don't know how many pictures arrived, but we had a great time, Lou. I can't speak for you. I had a whale of a time, Lou, and I was just lucky I made it home because I got on the bus and I said, damn, I should have went to pee. Oh.
Hey, Rosemond's asking when will there be another show with Eric, Glenn, and Lou at Tommy's. As a matter of fact, that's in the works. Yep. Start looking around the middle of March. That's what we're trying to get. We'll get everything nailed down here in the next month or so. But yeah, we're gonna have a nice meet and greet where you can meet all 3 of us at.
And we're gonna do the show, part of the show there.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be tough because I don't know who's gonna be controlling it.
We can control it. You and I can control it.
Okay, you have at it. You will be the man in charge.
Not my first rodeo, Eric. Jeez.
No, of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
And we will have a former player. We're trying to see if maybe you can bring some other retired Giants players.
Oh,
that you will know in the future. Yeah.
Nice. World Series champion. World
Then we
Series
get
champion.
Eric down there. If it's the three of us, they won't know what hit us. What hit them. I'm telling you.
It's gonna be nuts.
We'll have
It's gonna
our
be
own.
good
We'll have
times,
the
man.
own private
Good
back room. We'll have everything taken care of, and it's a chance that we want to get back to you guys for making our show so successful.
Maybe I'll
There you
reach
go.
out to my old pal Lou. Maybe we'll get the crazy crab to join us at the
the
event
crab.
over at Tommy's.
There you go.
My old pal.
Look at that. Even Tommy said, or I'm sorry, Dom says, Tommy rocks. Hey, Dom, I hope we see you over there. Matter of fact, look what he says. He's got a roadcaster. You all can borrow for the. Look at that. He's got some mics set up. Look
we
at
got
that.
all
You can-
stuff.
Look at that.
Lou, what bus number did I have to take to get over there?
38 Gary R, the regular one. You didn't get the express, but after we
Eric?
left, you ran
That was like a
off the
death
block.
trap.
You barely made it, and you got on the bus.
Eric, we were about.
You had a
I
bottle of
swear to you.
tequila in one hand, and you had a pack, and you were running. It was classic.
Oh, that's the bus. And then getting there, Eric, I'll tell you, not a word of lie. So Bernice and I are standing. So we go in the back door of the bus, side back door, and you got to immediately walk up a step, and you're in the back end of the bus, okay? And I'll tell you this, Eric, talk about getting Glenn pissed off quick. The lady gets on the bus. This lady, if she was dude, she was 85 years old. But the 14-year-old boy is sitting in front of me where I'm standing. He will not get up to let her sit down. I told you, if you'd done that in I got to be careful when I'm in the stand. I mean, I got to get over the border. Can't get in trouble. I don't need more trouble with the law. I've had my problems, Eric. But now, I'll tell you, he needs a shit beaten. Because what has happened to kids in this world?
Yep. Yeah.
You tap me on the shoulder. I'm like, oh, me. I'm like, hey, get up. I was here first. Like, you mother. Oh, you need a. I
hate to say it, and look, and I'm not excusing it. We live in a different world, man. That's the unfortunate thing. Fuji says, Lou, have you seen the Giants analyst at Tommy's? I don't know.
Well, here's my question: are you thinking that this gentleman is gonna be part of our crew when we do our little meeting in March, or are you talking? Do I ever see someone like Dave Fleming, who is the Giants analyst? So I'm not sure what your question is. So it could be two parts. The gentleman that me and Eric have been talking about is a former player and a World Series champion.
There you go.
So,
if you look hard enough, though, Lou, if you look hard enough, you'll find they had pictures up. I saw the owner, who's a great guy, by the way, with Kruko and Kuiper. Great pictures on the wall, Eric. It's a baseball.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. I wish
the little piece of head
around the corner
with margaritas. It feels like.
And again, this we're going to try to do one probably once every other month. So we'll try to do one like in May or something, because if anyone noticed on the Tommy ad, we changed the very second to last picture. The gentleman's name is Kid Henry, is the bartender that name, Enrique. He's best friends with Kristen Beck. So if we can do one when the season starts and Beck makes the team, Beck will probably come over so we can have Beck and maybe some other players that can come meet us at Tommy's too. So, we'll start one little small, get to meet the chat and everything, have fun. And then we'll try to do it every other month and giveaways too.
And look, Eric, great new sponsor. And I mean, if we got Beck on the show, I mean, ratings are going to go through the roof this year. I can see it now. We already got Lou on board with best off-season signing. But Eric, look at it this way. Guys, you want to come join us if we're there every month or a couple of months or whenever we're set up over there at Tommy's. Eric, what is the appropriate cure for Giants baseball in 26?
Hanging out with some friends. That's what.
Margaritas and tequila, baby.
Oh well, there you go. Okay, dude. I tell you what, it's gonna be fun, dude. When we did that back, what was that? When we had that big meetup in later in the year. Gosh, that was so much fun. Seriously,
pizza.
I went to Longbridge Pizza, right? And then I knew Los, so I want to meet Los. But I met Dom, I met some other guys. I met Aaron was over there, and I got the chance to meet him. Dude, it was just so much fun. And that's what it's about. If we're gonna have to watch shitty baseball, and I hope it's not. God, I don't mean to be a freaking right. at least we have the
and we'll do other places too. You know, Long Bridge Pizza is owned by a guy who I got to meet, went to Arizona. They have Lo's photo up there. They have his when he worked with Dan up there. They have everything. But we're going to make Tommy's a place. So when you go to Tommy's, you say, hey, I saw your ad on Giant Sports Talk Live. You know, Glenn, Eric, and Lou told me I need to come here. It's all going to be worthwhile. And this year we'll have a good time. You know, we'll do different places too in the city. And what we'll try to do is, through my connection of the Giants, is maybe we'll do a game where it might be like a day. Because you got to remember, I want Eric and Glenn to come. So Eric has to drive a little bit. Maybe we'll do like a Thursday or Friday night where I'll get 20 tickets in the bleachers and we'll hang out. You know, have fun as a group. You know, because I don't have some sort of hard to
Lou's gonna don't let him fool you. He's getting 20 tickets in the first row by the dugout, Eric.
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you what though, that'd be honestly, that would be a blast. My back is probably going to be aching, but that's okay because that will be a lot of fun, man. God, look at Lou.
It sure will be.
Lou is something else. Look, hey, do you guys want to hear a story, Glenn? You're talking about a bus. I got a great bus story, and it has to do with a senior citizen as well. Do you want to hear this? It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
Go ahead. Story time.
So yeah, before we get out of here.
Okay.
So I had a similar incident, but it didn't have to do with a young buck. It had to do with me. I had to go to the MEPS, Fresno. I had to go to Fresno, California for MEP. For those of you who have been in the military.
For meth?
MEPS, MEPS, Military Processing Center, something like that, or something like that. So you got to go there for all your appointments and stuff so they get you ready to go in the military. It doesn't matter what branch. Everybody goes through MEPS. I think the only MEPS around here now, I think, is in Oakland. So, but the way to get there is you got to take a bus. So on the way back home, grabbed the bus, and sitting right next to me was a very old gentleman. I mean, this guy was old. You said that lady was about 85. That's about how old this guy was. The guy was frail, skinny as all get out. And I was like, all right, well, this guy shouldn't cause any problem. So I'm sitting there, and during the trip, this guy starts rocking back and forth. Walking back. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? What is this guy doing, man? It was weird. So I was like, man, there's something going on with this guy, and I don't know what it is. I hope it's nothing crazy. So he's sitting there, right? Back and forth. This motherfucker, excuse my language. He takes off his shoe, right? He takes off his shoe. He pulls off a sock. He pulls off a sock. He had a gnarly looking foot. Right? Right, I'm looking down. I was like, what is this guy doing? He's taking off his shoe.
I don't know why you're not on another seat by now, but that's...
So what does he do? He takes the sock, he brings it up to his mouth, and he upchucks in his sock. He upchucks in his... And I'm like, oh, God. What am I? And I can't get up and move because it's a moving bus, so you can't. So I'm just sitting there, and I just lean up. Thank God I had an aisle seat, so I'm not leaning over. And the guy and then he rolls it up, puts it in his pocket. And I was like, this is the gnarliest thing I've ever witnessed. Greyhound. There you go. There's my Greyhound.
Dude, you know what the moral of the story is before we sign off, Eric?
Nasty.
The moral of our stories tonight are, guys, over the course of the year, we do appreciate your super chats. It makes the channel what it is. It helps us out. And it keeps Eric and I off the welfare transit. God.
Oh, real quick before you get, hey, I meant to show. Senior sent me this. For those of you guys who want to check it out, go follow KFC Barstool. Again, it's a video talking about the Dodgers, the baseball lore behind how one couple's divorce led to the MLB rushing a sale of the Dodgers to avoid bankruptcy court, which perfectly coincided with a new TV deal, which provides LA with a massive financial advantage and probably leads to an inevitable work stoppage in 2027. So if you guys want to go take a look at it, again, this guy breaks down the whole TV deal and the bankruptcy. And again, those are the McCourts. You guys remember the whole story about that with the Dodgers. That was kind of a bad time for the Dodgers. And so if you guys want to go take a look at it, again, go follow KFC Barstool. and they will break it all down for you. For
funny, isn't it, Lou? A bad time for the Dodgers, a term we don't hear anymore.
Yeah, I know. No, they look, hey, that's just what we have to deal with. That's the reality, man. And again, I don't know what the Giants are going to do. I don't know if they have any trades in their pocket. I don't think they do. I think this is what it is, man.
Well, maybe the season will get better, Eric. You can ride the Greyhound bus, look for more guys. Maybe you'll find shoeless Joe Jackson on the bus.
Maybe. Hey, you never know. The guy looked like he probably came from that era. Let's get the hell out of here, huh?
That's I'll be here all week. See you guys tomorrow. What are we back?
Hey, guys.
Wednesday?
We're
Eric,
back
are we
Monday.
back tomorrow?
We're
Monday,
back
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Oh, it's a doubleheader.
This is taking place because of Friday's shenanigans. All is well. So we'll come back tomorrow and we'll do it all over. What the hell are we going to talk about?
They may catch on by halfway through the show that we're just going to replay tonight's show. Just saying.
All right, let's get out of here. Lou, Glenn, it was fun, man. Let's go do this again tomorrow night. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Woo!
You've been watching.
Whoa. Stop the tape. Hold on. Dom, holy crap. I gotta hit this. Dom donates $20. Hashtag fire Manfred. He's ruining baseball for years to come. That's him. Hey, I cannot blame you for that, but we appreciate that $20. Man, look at Dom coming through.
And Eric takes an Uber tomorrow. You get to take an Uber. This is great.
But hey, Dom, you're not wrong, man. I don't think, and I talked about this on Marty's show. Go check out Marty's show. I asked Marty, is Manfred a baseball fan? I don't think he is. Anyway, Dom, thanks again, man. Appreciate it. Let's do this again. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.